What's up, guys? It's the real Corey Tenderson, and today, guys, we are starting a new series. Now, for a long time, I wanted to make my channel about movies, or at least part of my channel. I wanted to do movie reviews, and I still plan on doing that, but I can't do that without money, equipment, and also I can't really do it in my house with my family. Basically, I'm saying it's not going to happen for a long time, but I can rank movies, and I love ranking movies. Not just movies, anything. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is the first episode, and you'd think it'd be something memorable like Star Wars or the MCU. No, we're doing the Fred movies. Now, a long time ago, they made the Fred movies. Fred, I think this was back in the early 2010s, Nickelodeon, they realized that Fred was this huge YouTuber, he was the first one to get to 1 million subs, I think. I remember, wasn't it 1 million? I think it was him. He first hit 1 million subs before anyone, and so Nickelodeon's like, oh, big money, oh, and so now we have the Fred movies. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to these things, I'm not that pessimistic when it comes to movies, or anything, really, when it comes to, like, video games, movies, TV shows. I'm not that pessimistic. Everyone's like, oh, dude, every, uh, everyone's like, oh, Star Wars Episode 1 was really bad, and I'm like, I don't know, I didn't think it was that bad. Or they're like, oh, Iron Man 2 was a horrible movie. I'm like, I don't think so. So basically you're gonna see a lot of, sometimes you'll see movies that are all around known as bad, but I'm gonna be saying they're good, because I'm really optimistic when it comes to movies. So that's gonna include this. A lot of people would probably say these movies are bad. I don't think they're that bad. Movies made for kids. Let's look at it as kids' movies. They were made for kids. I think they're pretty good. Some parts even made me laugh, I'm not gonna lie. And it's not just because I have a bad sense of humor or something. Don't be a dick. Okay? Don't be like, oh, that's just because you have a bad sense of humor. Like, just don't be a dick. I just thought it was funny. Okay? So, basically, I'm just gonna start it. So, basically, there's 3 of them. So, this is gonna be ranking all 3 of them. So, it won't be that long. Yeah. Let's go. Number 3. That's right, we're doing it, worst to best. I might have forgotten to mention that, but let's be honest, who does best to worst? But, number 3. Fred 3. What was it called again? Was it Camp Fred? I can't remember. Even when I was watching it, I didn't really pay attention to the title. I think it was Camp Fred. This movie isn't that bad, if I'm being honest. It was alright. I'll give it a, maybe a 7, I'd say 6 out of 10. And the reason it's such a low number is because it's kind of just weird to me. It's just a stereotypical camp movie. Like the Camp Rock. I don't know. I've seen other. I think they made one with Zach and Cody. Then like those camp episodes. It's in like kids shows. They go to a camp. That's basically what it was. It's basically what it was, except it was Fred, and it was so bad to me. I mean, just the camp part of it, just the fact that he had to go to a camp was kind of just, I don't know, it was weird for me. I don't know why they thought that up. However, what was good was the ending. And you know why? Because Kevin carried this movie. Kevin is by far the best character. Kevin is amazing. Kevin only appears at the end, though. It's weird. He appears once in the beginning. Then he doesn't appear for the next, middle half of the movie. And then at the end, he appears for the whole ending thing. And that's the only good part. That whole middle thing with Fred just being a camp is really not that good. like, I don't know what they were doing with this one. It was just kind of okay. But like I said, Kevin never fails. Kevin is the best character in the series, and he carries it. He carries this movie. So now let's move on to the next one. Number 2 is going to be Fred the movie. Now, this was the first one that came out, and Fred the movie was just, honestly, it kind of just made this series, so I couldn't put it at last. I mean, it was amazing, and it's kind of what started everything. So, the reason this is really good is because it's good old-fashioned Fred. If you remember him from YouTube, that's what it feels like. It's not something with camp, you know? No, you don't need to add some camp theme to it. It's a good old-fashioned Fred. And he basically, you know, he brings, he's trying to, you know, get with Judy, you know, he thinks that Judy's been kidnapped by Asians, or something like that. I can't remember. Oh, no, well, he thought at first, and then it turns out she just moved. She's fucking moved. And Kevin was really good in this one. Kevin might be at his best in this one. Even though this is only the number 2, Kevin is probably at his best in this one, if I had to say so. I think he's great in this movie, and Fred is good in this movie. And by the way, John Cena is in these movies. John Cena's in these movies. Oh, and that's another reason Fred 3 was bad. He only appears once, and that's it. Like, what? In the first 2 movies, including this one, he appears multiple times, and that's what makes this movie good, is John Cena. He appears as Fred's dad. And it's such a good movie. And by the way, I just want to point out, Kevin's mom, I'm pretty sure is Flo from Progressive. Yeah, apparently while she was filming Progressive commercials, she was also appearing in Fred. But yeah, this movie's a good starter, and it had Jeanette McCurdy as Bertha. If you didn't know, they replaced her with Danielle Monet. Like, she's fine, but Jeanette McCurdy was definitely better. Yeah, that's all I can really say about this movie. It's just really good. There's a lot of solid jokes, and solid characters, and yeah, that's it. So now let's get to the number 1, baby. The big one. Here we go. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1 is Fred 2. Night of the Living Fred. Oh my god. This movie is amazing. Alright? I would give this a 10 out of 10. So, when I was talking about the first Fred earlier, I said, oh, it's good old-fashioned Fred. You don't need to add some theme to it like camp. Well, they add a theme to this, but it works. See, instead of just being a Fred doing Fred shenanigans, Fred is faced with a big problem. He thinks that his music teacher is a vampire. It sounds pretty cringy. It sounds like some sort of, like, thing that would be in, like, a TV, like, it sounds like something that would be in, like, a kid's sitcom show. But it's so well orchestrated. It's so well played out. And the person he thinks is a vampire is one of the best characters in the series. He's probably the 3rd best. Top 3 characters are probably the teacher he thinks is a vampire, Mr. Devlin, then Fred's dad, then Kevin. And so, as well as this, they also have, like, a lot of really solid jokes, even more solid than, like, the first one. There's so many good jokes in this. Like, that's the problem with the 3rd one. There's not many solid jokes, but this one really takes the cake with the jokes. And you know, it's so, I can't even explain it with words. That's how good it is. And once again, I'm ranking these like it's a kid's movie. You might be like, these movies suck. Yeah, maybe if you're an adult, you know, if you're taking movies too seriously. But if you're looking at it through a kid's view, this movie is very good for a kid's movie. It's got some pretty decent comedy. It's got some really good characters. You know, if you think Fred's annoying, that's fine, but that's okay because he's not like the whole movie. There's like Kevin, like I said, he's a pretty big part of these movies, and he's amazing. He's an amazing character. So if you think Fred's annoying, then but you still can't. I don't know. It's just I can see why people might dislike these movies, but I think they're just great. At least the first two. So there you go. There you have it. We've started the ranking series where I rank stuff, and we started off with a big bang. Not and not literally. It's not like we didn't rank the Big Bang series. Okay, hopefully you've been paying attention. We've ranked the Fred movies, so that's out of the way. Unfortunately, we still have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movie series and video game series. And what the hell, I might do TV series as well. You never know. So, yeah, if you don't like the Fred movies, then that's fine, but at least now you know I'm starting a new series. I guess that's what you can take out of this video. So that's about it, guys. See ya.